Hey there, it's Kevin Kennedy, and welcome to day number 28 of Learn Fusion 360 in 30 days. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to set up a product to render in Fusion 360's Render Workspace. We'll take a look at how to apply appearances in physical materials, how to apply decals, and how to create custom appearances. For this demo, I'll be using a file located in your Fusion 360 data panel. Click on the data panel grid icon in the upper left-hand corner. Then scroll down until you see the samples section. Double-click on the basic trainings group and scroll down until you see number 7-rendering. I'll double-click on that folder, and then I will double-click to open the first model, which does not have any color applied to it. Now, Fusion 360 sample files are read-only, so we'll have to create a copy of the file. Head up to File, Save As, and then you can change the name or the location of the file, and clicking that blue Save button will create a copy of the file. Now we'll want to switch to the Render Workspace by selecting Render from the Workspace drop-down list. You'll notice right away that there are less features in this workspace, as the intention of this environment is to give you only the capabilities to create realistic product renderings. You'll see that this sample file already has some colors and physical material appearances applied to it. Let's take a look at how to alter or change the appearances. To get the Appearance dialog box, you can click the Appearance icon in the toolbar, select it from the Setup drop-down list, or you can always use the keyboard shortcut letter A for Appearance. Once the Appearance dialog box opens up, you'll notice that it has three different sections. The first section is the Apply To section, where you can choose whether to apply an appearance to an entire body or component, or you can also choose the Faces option, which will allow you to apply an appearance to specific faces that you select. The second section is titled In This Design. Now, this section displays all the different materials that are currently applied to your design. The third section is the Appearance library, where you can choose from a number of different materials and appearances that have already been created. You'll see that this library is organized by different categories, and we can also search the library with this search box. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Plastics folder and the Opaque folder. I'll scroll down until I see the glossy yellow. Now, to apply this yellow plastic color to the body of the utility knife, all we have to do is simply drag the material onto the component. And again, doing so will color the entire component and body because we have that option selected in the Apply To section. We'll want to add an appearance to the right side of the utility knife as well. Another way that we can add color is by dragging and dropping the color directly to the component in the Fusion 360 browser. To be successful and efficient in the Render Workspace, you'll have to use both of these methods. Now, which method you use really depends on the complexity of your model and how the components are pieced together in the assembly. Let's go ahead and add the appearance of rubber to this back grip. To find rubber quickly, I'll simply type out rubber in the search box. One thing to point out is that your rubber appearance may not be accessible quite yet. You'll notice that many materials have to be downloaded. You'll want to make sure that the Show Downloadable Materials box is checked. And then, to download materials, you'll just need to click on the download icon on the far right side of each material. And you'll see in a matter of seconds the material is downloaded. I'll drag and drop the soft rubber onto the back grip. Now, looking at the Fusion 360 browser, you'll notice that there is a second grip, which is the grip at the top of the knife. For this piece, I'll use a more textured type of plastic. I'll type Polka in the search box, and then click on the download icon to download the appearance. Once the polka material is downloaded, I'll simply drag that over to the model. And if I zoom in a bit, you'll see that it has a nice textured polka dot pattern to add some grip to the top of the knife. Taking a look at the model, you can see how quickly the model can start to come to life as we apply these realistic appearances. Let's go ahead and add a few more appearances to finish off the model. We'll want to add a stainless steel appearance to the blade of the knife. I'll search steel in the search box, and I'll just drag the stainless steel -satin appearance over to the blade component. Looking in the Fusion 360 browser, it looks like we have one last component, which is the blade cradle at the bottom of the list. We want this piece to stand out so the user of the knife understands how to open and close the blade. So I'll get rid of this recent search and go back to the plastics folder to take a look at the available options. Now I like this matte blue color, so I'll go ahead and drag that over to the blade cradle component. Now that we have an appearance applied to each component, let's take a look at how to edit the details of an appearance. If I decided I wanted the color of the body to be red instead of yellow, then I could simply drag the red glossy color to the yellow color above. And you'll notice that it replaces it. And because the same yellow appearance was used on both sides of the utility knife, you'll see that the red color was automatically applied to both components. I'll hit Command+Z on my Mac twice to revert back, and I'll show you another way that we can do this. I'll use the keyboard shortcut letter A to open the appearance dialog box once again. If you double click on a material, you'll notice that you can use the color picker to change the color. You can also change the roughness and reflectance, and if you click the advanced options, you'll be presented with a number of options to completely customize the appearance. These options can get pretty complex, so we'll have to save them for another video. I'll hit cancel and then double click to reopen the yellow color. You'll notice at the top, you can select the Color Libraries button, which will let you choose from all of the available Pantone colors. Now, a few other quick tips with the appearances. If you right-click on an appearance, you'll see that you can add appearances to your favorites, which will put them in the Favorites tab of the library. Under the right-click menu, you'll also see that you can click on Select Objects Applied To, which will highlight all the components, bodies, or faces that the appearance is applied to. Also on the list is Unassign and Delete, which will remove and delete all occurrences of that appearance. And last but not least, you'll see that you can duplicate an appearance. Now, duplicating an appearance allows you to create a new appearance by customizing it without messing up any pre-existing appearances. If I right-click to edit the duplicated appearance, you'll see that you can rename the appearance at the top, as well as all the other features that we previously discussed. Now, for the remainder of this video, I want to show you two more essential things in the Render Workspace. First, I want to point out the important difference between physical materials and appearance materials. The appearance materials are the colors and textures that we have been applying to the model. They are for appearance and representation purposes only, and they do not affect the physical properties of the model. You'll see that physical materials under the Setup drop-down list work in a similar fashion as appearance materials. But these physical materials do affect the physical properties of a model, which is important should you need to run a simulation or another type of analysis in the simulation workspace. You'll see that the body of our utility knife is set to mild steel, and we want this to be plastic, so I'll right-click and select Unassign and Delete, which will remove that steel material. Next, I'll click on the Plastics folder and select ABS Plastic, and I'll drag that over to the body of the knife and click Close on the dialog box. You'll notice right after I click Close, it shows the appearance that we previously added. as changing the physical material does not remove any appearances that have already been added to the model. The last thing that I want to show you guys in this part 1 of a 2-part video is how to add a decal to your model. For this demo, I'm going to use the Autodesk logo, and I'll link to that file in the video description. To add a decal, you can select Decal in the toolbar or from the Setup drop-down list. Then you'll have to first select the face of where you want the decal to go. In this case, I'll select the left side of the utility knife. Next, we'll have to select the image from the Downloads folder, and you'll see that places the file on the face that we previously selected. One thing you'll find helpful when working with decals is looking directly at the face of the model that the decal was applied to. So in this case, I'll use the view cube to take a look at it from the right side. I can now use the rotation slider and the planar position icon to move the decal into place. And when I'm happy with the look, I'll click OK in the dialog box to confirm the decal changes. So finishing off the decal wraps up part number 1 of the Render Workspace. In day number 29, or part 2, we'll take a look at how to set up the environment, how to set up lighting, and a few other details to make the render look realistic, as well as how to actually process the render. To watch part 2, go ahead and click the link below in the video description. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions at all about this tutorial or Fusion 360 questions in general, then be sure to comment them below. Hit that thumbs up icon if you learned something in this video, and click subscribe followed by that little bell icon to be notified of more Fusion 360 tutorials.